your business. Eat fruit and mind your business.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to another week's episode of Eat Fruit Podcast. I'm your girl, Kay.
And I'm Natasha Renee.
And I hope y'all been eating fruit and minding your business this week, because boy, do we got a lot of things to discuss. Woo! So, how was your week, Natasha?
I took a long walk this weekend,
That's
to
good.
reflect.
That's
So
good.
I got to see the city and took some great pictures. So that was my weekend. I did about a 3.5-mile trail.
Jeez.
I was going to keep going, but I was like, no, I didn't drive out here. I walked here from my house, so let me walk back home.
Right before you end up being another headline. That's the only thing that I hated when I was really getting into jogging and stuff. There would always be that threat of oh, you can't have your music too loud, your headphones, because people literally out here just snatching people in the park. So
yeah, it was some sketchy spots, even where I can walk literally. It's right across the street. It's on the next block over, and it's shout out to the man that lives under the bridge, but it's somebody that literally lives under the bridge. So I'm like, I think next time I'm gonna drive to the parking lot so I don't have to walk past him.
Yeah. He's probably there because it's less wind. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he got his whole setup under there, and the cops were in the park. The parking lot is literally right there, so they know he's right there.
Jeez, I hope they didn't kick him out. Sometimes I feel
No,
bad when you see
I
them
see him, and now that I've seen him, I pay attention when I drive out. No, he's still there.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, but it's you think about the cold and things like that just make you extra grateful because you're damn,
Yes.
I could have been out
it
here.
was definitely cold this weekend. I know it snowed in Ohio. Did it snow out
Most
there?
definitely.
Oh
Most definitely it snowed. The weekend wasn't that horrible, but then out of nowhere, Sunday night, which I guess would have been last night, and this morning, it was a whole snow squall, meaning the snow is just blowing in I was just what the fuck? I just saw the grass.
That's what my sister said. She was like, they got the snow on Saturday. She was like, I literally went outside and it was like a blizzard, but she was like, nothing stuck though. That was the crazy part. She was like, nothing stuck.
By the end of today, it's only roads that I guess neighborhood roads that are less driven on. They had a little bit of snow, but for the most part, the main road is cleared up. But in the morning is nothing compared to what it looks like now. And I'm what was that about? Nature, what was the attitude about? What did we do? Maybe the young people are out there just having too much fun.
I guess it's time to stay in the house. It ain't time to come out yet.
Right? Oh man. But you had a good week.
How was your weekend or week?
It was good. I took in a lot of shows, so I'm excited that eventually when I'm finished them all that to talk about it. I got to start Top Boy, which I was looking forward to. So woo, second season's coming in with a bang. I binge watched Young, Rich, and African. Young, Famous, and African. It's this reality show series on Netflix, and it's it was the shit. I don't know what else to say. It was the shit because we do hear about how beautiful Africa is, and more people are starting to travel out there. But this show was picture Crazy Rich Asians, but it's Africans and it's young people and it's a whole heap of mix up, and it was mostly centralized in Johannesburg, and just everything was gorgeous, from the architecture to in reality show they always have someone that has an event. You gotta go pull up to this person's event. Everything was extravagant, everything looked rich, and being someone that's not African, it was really dope hearing their ways of, I guess, their slang and stuff like that. When the girls and stuff would kind of be making fun of the other girls, whatever, she's like, oh, tis a Caesar, oh, all this stuff like that. Yo, like I was like, oh, I have too much content. Like it was a good time. Like it was too short, which I guess is always a good thing to feel. And the way they ended the season, it was just like, I cannot wait for season 2. There better be a season 2. Because like, yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out then.
No, I think you'll thoroughly like enjoy it. And it was just amazing to see on top of the drama, because you gotta have some good drama in there.
Gotta have drama.
But it's a fact of like you're seeing Black people just living so regal and beautiful, and like there was no physical fighting, but like these people are fighting with their words. As I said, they have their own like verbiage, and it was just like it was just really dope to see. And they went to like all these, as someone that watches a lot of these reality shows, you get used to how they set it up. Like, you know what I mean? This person's having a house dinner party at her house or whatever, but like every place that they chose, I felt like it was a real amazing showcase of like the different places you can go in Africa. Like I know I've always heard about.
That's cool. I would definitely appreciate that.
Right? I know I'm going long-winded, but I know one of the places I always heard about was like this train ride you can do, and this girl set up her event via the train, so they all had to spend 48 hours on this train together before they got to, I think it was like Zimbabwe or something. You already know the drama went down on the train. Shout out to Swanky. He was like one of my favorite on the show, but like it was also just, it was just amazing. Like to see just Black rich people doing their thing.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Not one drink was thrown, but the drama was there. Like it was just a different way of like how people beef. And I was like, oh man, this is amazing.
You said not one drink was thrown.
No, only one girl was like, oh, should I? Okay, I don't want to ruin it for you if you're actually going to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
It's not a huge ruin, but I know how you feel about spoilers. So I'm like, let me just hold back. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you, someone American is in there that like, I was like what? Like I was very shocked to see that they were a part of the storyline. So okay. So I'm definitely gonna look at it. Probably matter of fact, I'll look at it tonight. It was interesting how it worked out that way. And they're like good 40 to 45 minute episodes, but I'm telling you, they place it so well. And it's not even like it's annoying to me. The most annoying thing is when you make it so obvious and leave the juiciness right till the very, very end. But I feel like they gave the right like dosages in between and gave that really, really juicy thing at the end. And you're like, oh, well, I guess next episode, like, and I'll say the last thing that I started watching, which I'm still watching, is Bridgerton. And thus far, I just have to say, like, Shonda Rhimes, girl, I love you. God bless you. Because I already love period pieces and like things of that nature, where the women were wearing gowns and, the countesses and the duchess and all those things. So it was like just seeing her spit on it and the way she's like making it something modern, maybe for people that don't usually watch that stuff. But like, you're a writer, so you can appreciate like certain words and the wordplay and like I'm heavily into Shakespeare. So just hearing the way she's like doing a lot of like, the writing is just
I love Shakespeare. Like if you really get into it, it's some
like so, she's doing all that in there, and it's just like amazing. And the actors, once again, it's another show where like I haven't ever seen any of these people in anything else, and I totally forget that, and I'm just engulfed in like
and that's what it's supposed to be about, not the people but the actual show.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, my ass has been at home watching TV. But some good TV, I will say. Yeah. So guess we'll get into fruit salad for this week because we got a lot of things to break down.
Yes.
Mind your business.
I'm not even going to waste no time. I'm not going to hold y'all because I went long-winded on this. So the Oscars. A lot went down at the Oscars this year. We showed up, showed out, and showed beautifully as well. I will start off by saying it's been a while since I've watched the Oscars. So this year, it's not like it was something I was planning to watch or tuning into to watch. Like, I mostly just go for the red carpet and like, okay, cool.
Me too. Yes.
So this year, they definitely have me saying, you know what, next year, I might try to watch the first 20 minutes just to see how juicy it may get. I think they got some ideas in production as well. I will say everyone looks spectacular, both my Black people and my white people.
Yes.
I say a lot of people went into wearing lilac this year. I always wonder, like, are the designers low-key like plotting with each other and they're like, let's just make them wear the same?
I think that they kind of, because the trends are so similar and everything, right. I think that they kind of work together on the low and, have these focus circles and come up with stuff.
A young lady tried, I don't think she thought she tried, but she tried Tiffany Haddish. She tried to comment on her costume change. Tiffany Haddish like, miss, this is custom. This is not no costume change. Okay, this is, I think she was like, this Dolce and Gabbana.
Yes.
I was like, let her know. And it was just really beautiful to see her even speak about that point when it comes to her fashion, because I remember when she first started rolling out on red carpets, I never had an issue with her wearing the same like dresses because she's styling it and looking amazing. And like, not that it's unrealistic not to like repeat your clothes, but like, bruh, like nobody's that rich. Like, you get nice clothes is to wear it more than once, right?
Yeah, and that's what she said. I'm a keep wearing it.
Straight up. And I was really happy to see her get into her Atrium bag, and she came out fly. Yeah, but I say mostly everyone looked bomb. Were there any standout looks for you in terms of like red carpet?
Not really. Meg, I did like her dress. It was really elegant. I did like that. I like Beyonce's. You got a little I like the colors. It's a designer out in Cleveland, Ohio, Drew Christine. She always posts all of the red carpet events. So I was, going down her page and really looking at everybody's outfits, and everybody looked pretty decent this year. I will say that.
Every time I think, how much more black and white outfits can Janelle Monáe come up with? She just comes out with another banger. Like this, like the fitting of this dress, like the, what was it, diamond shape and the white, but oh man, that was definitely like another one, as DJ Khaled would say. I'm trying to think, like everyone, like
everybody did. And even when I said Meg, I said that because she looked very graceful,
Yes. I love the
but everybody looked pretty nice. It wasn't anything that, it was a couple that kind of stood out like, no, but everybody looked pretty good.
Yeah. I love the men's outfit. Sometimes I feel like the men don't, unless they're like playing for the other team, I feel like they don't really get into their fashion bag. Yep. So I felt like this year, the men thought about, okay, let me add this type of cufflinks. Let me put on this type of socks to like, they really stepped it up. It wasn't just black, black and white. How does the suit go? Black and, I guess black and white suit. Yeah. Like, it wasn't just the basic tuxedo. It
black
was like
tie, yeah.
Yeah, even up to like, my man Will, but we'll get into it. He even had like, I don't even know what that accessory, the proper name for it, but I noticed like it wouldn't be the base of his tie. I don't know the proper name for that part, but it had like a diamond, like circle thing. I was like, okay, come on, accessories. So the men were definitely getting into their bag as well. Michael B. Jordan did not come to play. as well as after party looks, you know, you switch it up.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were coming in their bag. I caught one of Rihanna's outfits. She looked top tier. Like, she's really repping out there. And like, yeah, I love, as you said, Beyonce, I loved her look as well. And she really played with the theme of like tennis and King Richard throughout the night. So I love that as well. All right. So the slap. You know, I watched this moment like umpteen times.
Yes.
And I have a lot of things to say about it, but the first thing I'll say is it definitely was not fake.
At first, I thought it was. Like when I seen, so this is what I woke up to, basically, because like I said, Drew Christine, she always posts the outfits.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the outfits, and then all of a sudden I come to this slap, and I'm like, oh, you know, I ignored it because I'm like, it was for TV because I saw the two people that did it.
Yeah.
And then when I finally got home, because I had an appointment earlier, when I finally got home to look at it and look at Will's face, I was like, oh. So then I thought, well, did he say something about August? Because I thought maybe it was the whole, you know, situation thing that he had said. And then when I heard the comment, I'm like, well, why? So then as I read more into it, I found out, I guess, what the why would have been. But yeah, that I watched it I had to, because I was kind of in shock.
Yeah.
So I had to watch it a couple of times. I watched it from different perspectives. I watched it from people, you know, people's point of view on their TV as their reactions.
Yeah.
So I was just like, wow. What, like, I mean, because it's a lot to get into with that.
It is. But one of the first things I'll say, you know, is watching the entirety of like where that even started before it even got to that clip of the slap, right? Because I know the internet likes to run with things, and as media, I definitely see it as my point, like you said, to look at it from as many angles as I can and to try to get as much as a broad context as I can.
Yes.
One thing that I will say, on top of the many things I probably will say about this, is one thing that I did notice that I wasn't, you know, appreciative of is, fine, you're a comedian, Chris Rock, do your thing. But I won't ignore the fact that all of his jokes that were targeted towards the other couples in the same category that was being nominated, when it came to the wife's joke, none of them were reflective of their appearance.
Okay.
I'm not even going to bring up the fact of race. I'm just going to say none of them were commenting on the wife's appearance. But when it came to Will and Jada, her comment or her joke was targeted towards her appearance. And as a Black woman, it's like that already started rubbing me the wrong way, because you did not speak on any of these other white women's appearance, even though they were nominated in categories with their spouse or their partner. But for the Black woman who came as natural as can be, you took the time to target her appearance, right? I even thought to myself, you know, you could have done a joke maybe around the fact that The Matrix Revolution did not get nominated in this category, so there won't be nothing to fight about. Or there were a lot of other below the belt, if that's how you want to go, jokes that you could have made.
So I guess where I would disagree on that is because even if he didn't comment on the other wives, we have to think about Chris Rock and how uncensored he is. And supposedly with the jokes already being given to them, or they say what the jokes are beforehand. And I guess he admitted that he didn't even write that joke.
Definitely not.
There was, but the one thing that I took it as, as far as me not being offended by me not being personally offended is when the one thing I do when I go to comedy shows is I never want to be in the front.
Facts.
Because you're the point of view, male or female, that they're going to pick on, that they're going to talk about. And, so that's how I looked at it. Like, you were right there, not knowing that he didn't write it, but, originally not knowing that. I'm like, well, that's how it is at the comedy shows. You never want to sit in the front because they will talk about you like, and say whatever because you're right there. Yeah. So that's how I took it. Cause I'm like, I kind of said that when I first seen it. So that's why I'm like, well, that's the first thing I kind of thought when she first cut her hair off. Anyway, because those were the memes that were going around when she originally first cut her hair. Yeah.
Okay. That was
I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen that comparison before. So that's why for me, I didn't understand, I guess, why he was so offensive, but I know that another broadcaster made the comments about when Chris Rock did the 2016. And he made a comment about Jada then when they were boycotting. And he was the host then and said something, because that would get the keep my wife's name out your mouth versus that one comment. And how, remember, they were boycotting. He had did his movie, and it was the Oscars Aren't Black, remember? And nobody sat with them. So Chris had started the show talking about Will and Jada. And how I think he had made a comment like, Jada isn't even in anything, and her boycotting is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties, something I've never been in. But then he also made comments about Will Smith on that one, like, y'all just mad because Will didn't get nominated. I said, now that will give me more reason for Will to be upset, because I was like, I couldn't get it until when I remember that. I was like, oh, that would get a keep my wife's name out your mouth.
It would.
Versus,
and also we must remember, like, to this day, we still don't know who nibbled. Was it the person that nibbled on Beyonce's ear?
Oh, yeah.
Like, to this day. So that speaks to say, how much goes on in these Hollywood streets behind the scenes. These are actors at the end of the day that we really don't know the full story. And it's not the first time. Don't get me wrong. Chris Rock is a GOAT. You know what I mean? And everything like that. But who's to say, as I said, I had a feeling, and probably it's not even just that. There's probably numerous other stories that probably it goes deeper than what we just saw. And if you remember a couple weeks ago, when we spoke about the Laverne Cox comment on the red carpet, and I spoke on, he probably didn't deal with the situation in a certain way, or they're trained to laugh it off in a certain way, as you've seen Will initially did at the Oscars, even last night, that if it probably didn't go that route because she's a part of a certain community, and they would have spun it a certain way, as opposed to him just feeling like there's only about so many times we're going to be on these carpets and you guys are going to disrespect us and act like we aren't who we are. So I wouldn't even say everything was fully towards Chris Rock, but I would say that was for the writer.
I was going to say, and I feel like it's more stuff that he's actually going through, because even if we step back from that, right before that, we talked about the whole comment Jada made about Will in the bed. So he's been the target, like their family has, but we talked about it, like they kind of put themselves out there.
Yeah.
And she's been saying, again, I'm not saying anything against Jada. I'm just saying how they're in the media, from the comments that she made, even with them on the Red Table Talk, by her kind of talking down on Will. So when I looked at it that way, I thought G.I. Jane meaning like I'm over. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of tried to spin it in different ways of why he would get offended by the comment.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like it was just based in that comment. I definitely feel like there's way more to it. With that being said, you know, salute to Chris Rock as well, because, you know, my reflexes, the way they're set up, I don't think I could have kept that composure and level of professionalism in front of all them people, live TV or not.
My hand would automatically gripped.
And through watching it, you seen him kind of, and then he, you know?
Yes.
So I will say, you know, salute to you, King, on that, because you were a bit kerfuffled in the first few seconds, but you held it together, you pushed through, and it was entertaining. The jokes are hilarious, but it gets deeper for me, you know,
it does get deeper.
This is the night of Will Smith, someone that we've grown up watching, rooted for all these years. And this is finally like his night, his rollout, in a sense of this is the night he's winning his first ever Oscar after all these pictures we've seen him in and felt like they were amazing, you know? And we can only imagine what a journey it has been for him. You have Denzel Washington, GOAT, in the audience. That's like having Sidney Poitier, even though it's like obviously Sidney Poitier is the original, but you know, like you have Samuel L. Jackson, you have real Black men that he probably even aspired and looked up to watching this, you know. And when he made his acceptance speech, I heard everyone kind of chuckle at first when he talked about protection and things of that nature, and he was crying. But if anybody has ever been that angry to the point where like it's not even that I'm sad, it's like I'm so upset with myself, upset that I got that outside myself, upset that I let, you know, other people ignite that out of me. He's probably reflecting all those things. And that's what really, you know, hurt him, to be like, damn, I know what this represents. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Like, and I hate that I did that. And that was difficult for me to watch, because it's hard for me to see Black men cry. It is.
No, it definitely doesn't. Even if you think about the image that Will Smith portrays, he, you know, unfortunately, I don't want to say he's that perfect Black guy image. He doesn't, you know, his music isn't harsh, no profanity. It's everybody loves Will Smith. So to see that, you know, moment, and then understand too, like you said, it takes him out of his element. And then also, even when you mention all the Black people, when the situation happened, that was at Questlove's moment to get his first Oscar, and that took away from another Black man's moment, you know, especially Questlove, you know, from the Roots. That took away that shine of him, kind of disturbed and took away from a lot of moments. And I know that probably, you know, affected him also. Like, damn, you know, finally it's a Black man that's putting it together. Will Packer is putting it together, and this happens, you know.
And it's like, as well, you know, even on the media side, like there's plenty of things I wanted to report on when it came to the Oscars, but it's like my audience barely would allow me to today.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we need more of this.
Yep.
We need you to post this. Oh, I saw this post. Like, so there's also that side of it as well. And I just still want to say congratulations to Will Smith for winning Best Actor. Well-deserved. K. Richard was such a powerful, beautiful film. And for so many years, as I said, I've had like questions, or, you know, just trying to understand Venus and Serena's mindset and their story much more. And even though it wasn't focused on them, just seeing the way their father even had a blueprint before they were born, it definitely gave me a lot more insight into the hunger and the passion that they put into like damn near everything they do. I'm hoping this will be the last thing I say about the situation, but Will Smith did put out a formal apology despite all these people trying to get him into trouble, talking about police filing reports and things like that. Let me say this before I read his apology. White people, Black people have different codes and different ways that we handle things. Okay, Ma? Like, not everything in our community, we've learned not everything is a 911 call. I'll say that. That's the best way I think I can say it tonight. A lot of people are being like, oh, the Oscars were so Black this year and things along that nature. And I'm like, so white people don't get lit too? Like, just because they have bigger teams and know how to hide it better, it does not mean a lot of things are not going down. So Will Smith took to his, I saw this via Instagram, but he did put out a statement, and I read, violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will.
Well said.
Great publicist. But at the same time, I'm not going to say Will was wrong. And I'm not going to be here like Chris was wrong. I'm just saying, in Black people code and world, like, bruh, you knew what you did. And, you know, where I'm from, if I see another Black person walking towards me like that, I know what that's about. But I guess you thought it was cute. And when Will said, keep my wife's name, and you saw that cheek side, I was like, this is not a drill, people.
Oh,
Lupita was serious. Lupita was behind him.
That's why I said when he was like, keep my wife's name out, yo, I was like, oh.
And he said it real. Again.
Yes.
In case y'all didn't hear. But I'm happy to know that Diddy and whomever, you know, helped these two gentlemen at least talk it out, if not squash. And we can just move forward from it. Twitter feed is great. The jokes are great. But in all seriousness, I feel like is way deeper than what we are seeing. And I know that hurt Will a lot, because now this is a stain also on the night that he won his first Oscar.
Yep. And that's the bad, I mean, unfortunately, that's the bad part about it.
Facts. Another part of the Oscars I want to talk about is Miss Blue Ivy, Queen Blue Ivy, giving us that choreography, sis. I was like, is that Blue Ivy? I was like, yes. So she is a star that, you know, come on, Beyonce and Jay-Z are your parents. Like, how could you not?
Yes.
When you read Beyonce articles and she's like, I was looking all over the house for Blue, found her up in the bathtub with some cucumbers over her eyes while she's practicing self-care. You know, just live your life, queen, live your life. She runs that household. The only child I too have seen make their mom bring out a juice box in the middle of the awards. Gotta love it. So I wanted to say how beautiful the Be Alive performance was. Beyonce is just Beyonceing, and I love it, and I'm appreciative of anytime she steps out to let us see it.
I know, right? Because you got to wait for her moments, especially like her Instagrams and everything. It's like when you get it, it's like, okay, let me go to the page and let me see it.
Facts,
Yes.
facts. What were your thoughts on the performance? You know, Blue Ivy's growth and just like that whole.
I love the, you know, performance. I always said that Beyonce is such a great performer. Like when I went to the On a Run tour, it was her. She's a great performer. Like I have never been I went for Jay, but when I went, I was like, oh, this is why they paid the money to get up close to Beyonce. Cause I said, next time she has a concert, I'm definitely
I'm
paying
always
the money
there.
to get closer.
I'm always
because
there.
it is so worth it.
Yeah.
She's a great performer. Even with Blue, just seeing her.
I'll pay to see her too. Shoot.
Yes, right. Just to see her, like you said, her growth and how she's shining, you know, and especially how they have her as a child. You know, so I always appreciate seeing her, you know, live and enjoying her moments as a child.
And I mean, I remember in Homecoming, that little tidbit where they were practicing the Lift Every Voice anthem.
Yes.
And she was like, that felt good. Can I sing it again? I was like, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. So shout outs to the Carters, you know. It was beautiful to witness all around. It was definitely a Rock Nation type of night, but I ain't mad at it. Meg Thee Stallion, as she took to her Twitter to let us all know that was the first ever rap performance at the Oscars.
Okay.
I was underwhelmed, but I will say I get it. As I said, it did come across as a Rock Nation type of night, so I get it. Mm-hmm. These are the people that have to get this if you want me to pull up. I get it. Yeah. But I will say, if it was anything else or a part of anything else, I don't think it would have happened like that. There was no hit record for her to perform. There's no record from her that I'm hearing out here that people just can't get enough of.
Yeah.
We see what's been happening in the media on all parts for her. So it's really good to have Beyonce on your side.
It definitely is. I need a Beyonce in my life.
Ooh, tell it.
Eat fruit and mind your business.
Moving forward, you know, Drake did share. I did see snippets of like photos and stuff, but I didn't realize that it was at a really dope restaurant here in Toronto, Harbor 60. Those of you who know, you know, but it's a really dope place, especially if you want some good seafood. And Drake had a private dinner there, along with like LeBron James as a guest. And they blessed, it's this young man. And like, just to give a little bit of insight, you know, in Toronto, the basketball culture is huge. It's very huge. And it's a way for a lot of young people, no matter what income tax bracket they're a part of, but especially for the, you know, the less fortunate, to have somewhere to be safe, to feel at home, to know this is a safe zone as much as they try, right? You hear a lot of kids talk about, oh, I'm going to the rec to play ball. It's like really a part of the ecosystem out here in Toronto. And it was beautiful to see that one part, Drake is still tapped into the city, and the young man that he had in the video, Michael, that, you know, his mom, did you get a chance to see the video? His mom, you know, and him were gifted along with this coach. It was just really beautiful because that's one of the young kids you really know that was out there playing ball day and night before he even got to where, you know, he is now. And when you get to that point when other Toronto mans got to admit that, yo, you're nice, you're good at this, like, trust me, he's been through a lot. And it was really beautiful to see that Drake is still tapped in at that level. And not to say we are to say, oh, this person is deserving of money or anything, but it was just really beautiful to see a young, you know, single Black mother that's really been struggling and putting your children in sports, as I've heard, is not cheap. It's not easy. So, you know, the fact that she's done that and she was able to even, you know, meet LeBron, one of the biggest players in the NBA, if not the. And it wasn't just about the money, it was just seeing all those smiles, and like you could almost feel the energy through the screen of that room. So that was beautiful for me. What were your thoughts on like just the moment? And I don't know.
No, it's we understand those moments. So it's always good to see, and it touches you because, like you were saying, you don't know how many hours, like how much money she put into it, and especially when you're a kid that is in a city, maybe in an urban area, where you have to push more to be seen. So to get this acknowledgement is so much, because like you said, for Drake to be like you're good, you know, that says a lot, because it's so hard. And these kids, like example, my son's uncle, when I watched him, he played football from the time I've known him. He was like in the 4th grade, and like he's in his 30s now, where he coaches football. But to like even see him go through the process of like going to a junior college, then going to these camps over in California, and then coming back, and then finally getting into Temple, like he wasn't one of those who got the scholarship right away. He had to like fight to get a football scholarship. You know, it took him a couple of years to go back and forth to different colleges to even do it. Because even when he went to the junior college, it was, oh, we can't count these credits. So guess what? You're here. So these kids go through a lot. And the reason he did that is because those coaches know, like, hey, I know he didn't get in, but these are the coaches. So it's not his mom putting this together. It's those coaches that see the potential, that are trying to help these young boys out. So it's a lot. And, you know, for him now to coach kids, to get them on the college level, you know, it shows that like it's not easy for, you know, Black boys and even girls, like Black athletes, to you know, really get through. So to see this, it's one kid, but that one kid is like, that one is 1,000 to say, guess what, I can do it too.
Amen to that. So it's definitely a beautiful moment. I was choking up a little bit too, just because, you know, being a product of a single home, and there were a lot of sports that I feel like I could have maybe flourished more in. And to see like, bro, you meeting one of the biggest artists and the biggest sports players in the world, and they're like, we know your name. Hi, mom. Hug my mom. Even when she like, am I here? Am I dreaming? I was like, oh, like it was so beautiful to see. So bless them. And even like you could see how like Drake was saying it, but you could also, for me, really see how good it made him feel. And it's just like, even when they were explaining, you know, this is what we do it for. And I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of this type of Drake, because I feel like this is dad Drake. He understands his son is getting older. He's not always maybe going to be around. And I feel like maybe becoming a parent, you know, I'm not a full understanding, but maybe becoming a parent really brings out another side to you that like,
it does, you know, especially me having my son, you know, about to go to college, you know. And unfortunately, you know, not unfortunately, but he plays baseball, but academics is what got him the scholarships. And even to see, you know, even to see him get money for academics, I'm like, dang, they pay you, like they trying to give you that much just to, you know, get into school, and some schools offering full rides and everything, and him being able to have choices, you know, that's what I pushed for, that, you know, it wasn't just one school. Like he got into 5 schools, and you know, out of the 5, I think 3 of them offered him scholarships. and the dean scholarships, the president sent us an email, please come to the school. I mean, a letter. So that means a lot, as as a parent, knowing the push that read this book, do this, do that, because I wanted to make sure that I knew he couldn't play sports. He had 2 left feet. So I'm like, I'm gonna need you to read some more. Yeah. So, I pushed academics on him. I pushed academics on both my kids, because I tell them, you at least have to try to play a sport, because again, how we know to get money.
Yeah.
You at least have to play a sport, but academics is number one.
No, that is beautiful. And shout out to your son, because I'm sure, like, as I said, when the older we get and you see like the debt they force us into going into school, and it's something that we're not really fully educated on, especially when you come from a single parent home or immigrant family home, and you're the first to go to post-secondary schooling and things of that nature. And then to now be like, okay, some of that burden will be lifted. I don't necessarily always have to be thinking about the finances, but actually go there to do what I wanted to do, which was learn and build skills to enter the real world, as they say. So that's amazing.
We usually drop out the first semester, the first year we usually drop out. So to get 4 years paid on academics is, a good thing. And I don't want to tell, but I'm gonna have to tell, thanks. He decided Jacksonville University is the school he's going to be going to. So he'll be down in Florida. So I'm definitely excited about that.
That's fire. That's fire. Moving forward, my girl, Remy Ma, finally her Drink Champs episode was put out, and I'm really, really happy to see her in this light, embracing this place that she's in her life. You can see, for me, I could kind of like see the difference, I feel, as opposed to when she first came out. I feel like she's become like more adjusted, more grounded in herself. I feel like motherhood, even though she was a mother before, not that changes, but having like, her daughter is so adorable. It was a beautiful episode to watch. She spoke about a lot of things that I know, the news catchy stuff, but I really, as I explained the other weeks, I really love the female rap battle league that she's doing. So hearing her speak more in depth about that, and she brought up some serious things within that, being like the pay gap and noticing that difference, and knowing that like there are a lot of more talented women than the men in this sport, and creating a space for them where they can grow and build and hone their skills even more, and eventually get to that point of getting paid as the men do. So I was really excited to hear her talk about those things. And that's what I'll say about that. What were your thoughts like on the Drink Champs interview?
I always support Remy, like even before she went to jail. She's always been that artist that stood right next to the men. She is a lyricist. Like she's tough. Like, when Nori was saying the chick, when he was with somebody and the chick came in, he was like, oh, that's why you late, and she dipped. Like, Remy is the person that like people really did fear. So to see her now poised, like I so follow her on Instagram, because I just literally watched her, like you said, once she had her daughter, it was like that change, like so much, the poise. And even when she was there and doing an interview, it wasn't rough. It was very, you could tell she was a lady sitting, and she like stood her ground. And just listening to her speak now versus when you hear Remy before, it's a big difference. I really enjoyed the interview. I laughed, with some moments. that, you know, when they was it quick slime or the drinking
quick slime
part.
time.
Like, yeah, she wasn't doing no. Everybody used to be like, I don't know. Nah, she was like, it's one or the other. We ain't gonna be drinking.
I rely on her
she
for
was
that.
very,
Yeah.
and it made sense even when she explained some of her answers. She's like, I'm gonna give you the truth. And you know, that I did enjoy that part, because I just knew that she was gonna be like, I'm not. She was like, no, this person, this, and this is why. So no, I definitely was waiting for it. I know when I seen a post, like I was on YouTube like every day refreshing, trying to see if it was up yet. So when I seen that it was up, I was up like literally ready to take in all of, like, I sat through the whole thing.
Definitely. I say it's definitely less anger, less resentment. And she was happy, but now I feel like she's really happy. She's really in her own world and owning it. So I really do appreciate that. And shout out to Nori and DJ EFN. They actually gave us a like on Instagram for our content towards Remy. So I don't know if we inspired some of the research for the questions, but that was dope to see as well. And shout outs to those kings, because I know they feel like there's not much females to go to based on like the categories of their guests. So I'm happy to see that they are making an effort to get more of those females in, and I hope to see more coming in. I didn't get to finish the Latto album. Did you?
I didn't finish it. I kind of glanced through a couple of tracks. It wasn't bad. It was a couple of tracks that caught my attention. When I think of Latto, I still think of the rap game. Like, so it's so funny when I hear so many people talk about her, and I'm like, hold on, are they talking about the little
girl? Yeah, same.
Like, I've been hearing her in the media like the past couple of weeks, and I'm like, are they talking about the little girl from the rap game? And then I looked, I'm like, oh, okay, because I seen the whole beef between her and somebody else, and I'm like, oh, that's what we doing. So then, you know, I listened to the album, and I was like, oh, it's I like the beats. It was one song that caught my attention. It's Given. I like that one that was on there. It did catch my attention. I guess knowing her from the rap game, and that's what I kind of have always seen her as, not realizing that I probably have been listening to her music and not
quite some
realizing that it's been her. She's definitely changed. She's definitely matured.
Definitely.
You know, she can rap. The music, it was good. The beats were good. I wasn't able to get through the whole thing, but I did like what I was listening to. Like, I could put it on my playlist, and when the songs come up, I would listen through and not skip through them, if it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And, you know, I did get a chance to listen to her interview with the Joe Budden podcast. And like you said, I did notice that she is a lot more mature sounding than I think a lot of like the other young female rappers that I hear. Like, no shade, no tea, but like, say for example, I listened to like a City Girls interview. And sometimes when JT speaks, it's a little disappointing to me, because I anticipated her release for so long. And I guess I kind of had this height or expectancy of what she was going to come out and sound like. So hearing, even though like same for me, I can't really get that image of this little girl in the rap game show. And Jermaine Dupri like talked to her and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's a thin line for me as terms of like maturity and like in Jamaican culture, we would say force ripe. But what I will say is she's in her 20s now, and she did admit to having a lot more growth to do. I am proud of her, as I said, for putting out this project, not giving up on herself, really working hard on her rollout. You could see that she's definitely been putting in a lot of work. And despite all the drama that it was surrounding and stuff, I won't get into that because it's still not like clear to me what is what. But I will say both sides make some very valid points of conversation. So being like with Kodak Black's team and hers, but I am happy to see, okay, she does have something coming with Mariah Carey. As you said, there are a lot of tracks in there that, you know, I'll let play through and I wouldn't necessarily skip. So I'll say that to her. And I hope that she continues to just be honest with herself and just continue to grow. Like, she's young, she has so much room for that. And I'm sure she's just getting started.
Yeah. And the one thing I do want to kind of say is, if we remember her on the show, we have to remember that her dad did push. So that's the one thing I think a lot of people have to kind of keep in mind, that like this was his vision.
1000%.
I just,
and she spoke on that as well. Yeah. In a better way than what we may be seeing in the show, but definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
To move forward, you know, Nicki Minaj, she's definitely coming. The way she's been releasing records or features back to back to back, she's bubbling up in her interviews, things of that nature. So when I seen on Instagram that she had dropped a track with Fivio Foreign, shout outs to him as well. He's another artist that I heavily fuck with. They came out with We Go Up. The track to me is like insane. Like, I myself has probably played it like a billion times. I felt like this is the Nicki that I heavily fuck with.
Yeah.
She left like no stone unturned in the song to me. And Fivio let her just be Nicki on it. And it was so New York. It had so much flavor. It had so much like captions. Like, it was just everything what I love and need from Nicki.
Yeah.
So I was happy to hear that track and see that. And it went number 1 on iTunes in like less than an hour. And it's not even a record that, it's not even a record that like they were promoting.
That's why I had issues with it. I had issues. I had to YouTube it because I could not get it to play on Apple at all. I was like, it would not play on, none of them would play on Apple. I had to literally go to YouTube to listen to it.
Yep. I literally had to type in like this man's name. It's like kind of like he's Shadowban or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. What were your thoughts on the track We Go Up?
It like you said, with Nicki coming back, she's like, I'm coming back and you guys are going to know that I am here. I definitely got that from her, especially, you know, last week we talked about the other song that she was on, but you're getting Nicki, you know, and her reminding everybody that she is here. So I definitely love the beat. You know, I was definitely feeling the beat of the song, but it's Nicki showing everybody that like, I'm not playing. I'm back. You know,
1000%.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm definitely back.
It's like I'd expect when you go to the bin, like, I need you to have at least read like a book every week, like make use of the time. Right. You know what I mean? And I respect the fact that, you know, she's like, all right, I did the mother thing. I did the wife thing, as she'll say. Now she's back, you know, and with her, you know, evolving with her management company and her record company and all those things, I'm excited to see how she's been rolling this out. And
definitely,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because she's another one too that agree. Yeah, you know, she had a patch where nobody's going to be perfect. You know what I mean? There was definitely a rough patch in my opinion. And you could see it like it was a dark cloud almost just kind of hovering and like coming for her. And, you know, it's sometimes it's hard to shake that off and find yourself again or be comfortable within the skin you're in and all these things. So I'm really excited to see what she has coming next.
No, definitely. Like I said, Nicki, like the features, the stuff that she's been on, she's definitely letting people know, like, if you don't know, you know who I am now.
Yes. So was there anything else you want to say about the Fivio Foreign Nicki Minaj track?
No, nothing. Like I said, I was really feeling the beat. Like I really was feeling the beat on that track. And like I said, now it makes sense on why I couldn't. I was like, why will this not play on Apple? Like I could not get it to
no
play.
promo, no radio play. Like it was literally like they were just like, I don't know. Like I literally saw it on her Instagram. I was like, why can't I find it anywhere too? And I literally had to like search in the track and both their names. Then it came up.
Yeah, even like when it came up, it still would not play. Yeah. Like it would not. It kept like pausing out, and it's been playing everything else in my ear. So I had to go to YouTube to actually listen to it.
Too much fire. So I'd say that is it for me for fruit salad this week. Was there any other like news or anything that came up that you wanted to discuss?
No, that's about it. I mean, everything that's going on is, where everybody's focus is. So it's not even much.
Right? Everyone's mostly on the Oscars and reactions and all these things. So
yes, so
we know that will fizzle down.
I didn't even post anything today because I'm like, it's going to be flooded with I'll just wait till tomorrow.
Literally flooded. Yeah, I'll say like, don't go out there just slapping people for no reason. You know what I mean? Because you don't have Will Smith money. You're not Will Smith. So don't go fall in that magic. You go out there and slap people.
No slap challenge.
No slap challenge, right? You know that's coming. But what I will say is, definitely be careful and mindful how you speak and treat to others, because you never know how that can affect them or how it's been affecting people like in their household. So you definitely want to be mindful of those things. And also on the other side of that, I really loved the words that Will Smith shared from Denzel Washington, where he said Denzel has said something along the lines of, the higher you go, the harder the devil comes. Yep. So I really respected that and find that it is true. You'll find a lot of the times in your life, things get really turbulent or rough right when you're about to go to that new level, that extra level. And it's hard to see that or feel that at times, but I want to keep pushing and keep eating fruit and minding your business. And it's going to be okay.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. You just be mindful of others. And I always say that we don't know what the next person is going through. We don't know what's inside of people's heads. So be mindful of the things that we say because we don't know what someone's reaction will actually be.
1000%. I want to thank y'all for another great episode. Eat Fruit Pod.
Eat fruit and mind your business.
I'm your girl Kay. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys for the feedback you give us all the time. And make sure you're following and supporting Natasha Renee _ the creator. And was there anything you want to end the show with or anything you want to say?
No, great. Always happy, enjoying this. So no, nothing else. Like you said, just be mindful. And like you said, when you have to really think about your positions and where you are and stuff like that, and just always everybody just be focused and stay focused.
1000%. Like Kim said, you better get up and work your ass off.